The first thing I want you to know about our concert today is that it is for you. And if you would like really great pictures, please feel free to get up. On the program, I put when your child might be playing a little bit by themselves or in an ensemble. So go ahead and please don't feel like you have to stay seated. If you get a good picture, come on up and grab one, either while the whole band is playing or while your child is playing, because again, everything is here tonight for you to enjoy. I want to thank you so much for your support, because it's the reason these kids can sit here, and I send a lot of stuff home, and you're really great about getting it back to me. So I want to thank you for the support, because it does take all of us to do this for you in the band. So I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the evening as we go, and we're going to start showing you the first things that we learned, which is kind of odd, because the first thing we actually did is reread and re-remember from 5th grade all the letters that we learned for treble and bass clef, and all the rhythms that we did. And we don't play our instruments for a couple of months. I'm sure you were with me while your kids were like, we're not even playing our instruments yet. Because it took a few times, about 2.5 weeks, to get us all back up on that. So really, our first thing was remembering what is the name of the notes, what are the letters, what are the rhythms, before we actually opened our book. I hope you enjoy the evening, and again, please feel free to take pictures. Will you wave so everybody knows where they're looking? And Jayden, in the trombone section, is going to play that first note for us. And Gabby in the clarinet section, and Leah in the trumpet section's wave, so they know this is who's playing. They're going to do our second note. And putting the two notes together in what they call 4 in a row is Noah, Leah, and Natalee. Wave so they know who it is. All trumpets. We're going to play a funny pair and skateboard Sam. some of us are not feeling that great. So she said she's playing it on her own. Are you still doing it? Okay. Here comes Estela on clarinet. He's also going to play a solo. We're going to play Catch the Note, keep on blowing as a whole band. So far, you've actually only heard 2 notes, and we're going to add a 3rd note. This does make a difference, especially for those that have vowels and slides. As if you're watching, you'll see the combination isn't the same like it is for clarinets and saxophones, where it simply goes down. And also the flutes have a different with this 3rd note, so it takes us a bit to get this 3rd one. On trombone, and Aubrey, who's not here, and Damien, who's not here. Are you still gonna play? Yay! So, Brandon's gonna do Puppy Dogs all on his own. Very nice job. We're going to move on to our 4th note, and what's called Apple for the Teacher. And the trick of Apple for the Teacher is that they don't forget to be on autopilot. When you hear the beginning of it, you'll hear it does a lot the same, and then the end gets all crazy. And so we're going to come to our final note, and then we're going to move them all around. and it's our fifth note. So I want you to keep in mind that what your child is doing is first looking what line or space the note is on and figuring out what letter it is. Second, they're paying attention to the rhythm. Is it a quarter note? Is it a whole note, which is 4 beats? Third, they've got to pay attention to their mouth and their embouchure. We were talking to the trumpets while we were warming up that we don't just blow, there's also a buzz that has to be there. And fifth, they have to balance their air on their instrument, how they start the note and how they let go of the note. So each time you hear a sound, there's 5 things that they've got to do for each one. And now we're going to add our last note for the evening, which is our 5th note. So their mouth needs to last a little longer. They've got to focus a little longer, which is sometimes our hardest challenge. So we're going to add half notes. Buns, all on her own. And did I have it wrong? Oh, I just can't read my program. I apologize. Samantha, Sephora, and Caroline are playing hot cross buns together. Are you ready? This right now is called high dive.
Just can't tell the difference between
on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now Caroline is playing a solo. Sorry, Caroline. On Mary Had a Little Lamb. And now we have two trombones, Kenny, and Thomas here in the back. And wave so they know it's you. And Darrin on saxophone. It's our first saxophone we've had tonight. They're going to also play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I meant he's the only saxophone playing in a group. That's so.
Sounds nice.
So I have a student who
Sounds
went
nice.
beyond where we are this evening and practiced and got up in a song called Dreydl, which is about 4 or 5 beyond where we are right now. And Samantha, can we wave Samantha so they know that trumpet is going to play this on her own.
Aww. Yeah!
So to finish out the playing portion of our evening, we are going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, but we're going to play it more than once. We're going to try to have just the woodwinds play the second time, then just the brass instruments, which are the trumpets and trombones, and then we're going to highlight each group. I very appreciate Aubrey today because my other 2 flutes who are ill, so she's usually not on her own, but she's got a little solo because she's on her own this evening. This is our final playing song, and then we have more things we're going to do. Again, I really appreciate you coming this evening. We are also not only, go ahead, band, and start clearing up. we are not only having our concert tonight, but we are starting our fundraiser that's here in the fall. And I hope that as I show you what we're doing,